passports, what you call the normal passports, the blue ones. Ugandans are not yet allowed to go there without any visa, and we wait to see the connection of the talks that will be going on between the two countries. In other news, Mildred, you talked about the awkward happening that happened in Soroti. There was a woman, and this has been confirmed by Mr. Simon Monday, the spokesperson of the Ministry of Internal Affairs. This lady has been making off passports. That is in Orai village in Soroti. This woman was arrested with over 261 passports. The Ministry of Internal Affairs is yet to confirm if it is valid. He also had yellow fever cards and also the certificate of good conduct. And all these were documents according to the police. And right now, the ministry is trying to check through the different passports to ensure if these were accurate or not accurate. Maybe lastly, I'll be ending with the senior immigration members who have been relieved of their duties. One can say they have been reassigned by the Uganda People's Defense Forces. One is Major General Apollo Kasita Goa, who has been serving as the Chief of Citizenship and Immigration Control at the Ministry of Affairs, and the other is Afande Johnson Namanya, who is in charge of citizenship and passport management. These two individuals have been called back at the Uganda People's Defense Force headquarters for reassignment, and they have been working at the Ministry of Internal Affairs for close to 2 years now, because their tenure started in 2018. I'll bring you more details about those stories in our subsequent bulletins. Mildred.
All right, thank you very much, Edgar. We'll definitely be waiting for the details as they do stream. Let's now cross over to Parliament, where the Public Accounts Committee has begun scrutinizing the 2024-25 audit reports, starting with the Ministry of Finance. The ministry was faulted for keeping officers in existing positions for prolonged periods and is also responding to other queries that are raised in the Auditor General's report. Let's take a look at what's happening in Parliament right about now.
The other one I understand, because you budgeted but what was warranted. You warranted what was available because they couldn't warrant everything, the 32. First of all, the budget was cut to 32, then warranted 29, but then you did not spend all, you did not pay off.
Yes, I've seen that amount warranted the total to 32.9 trillion. Then amount spent 29.9,
which is 94.2. You mean all 32 was not available, or what?
Yeah, we need to,
because it was warranted, and you are the people who manage things.
Let's take note of that. I think if I give you a reconciliation, what specifically accounts for the variance.
The variance is 3.
Yeah, we shall come back to you, Honorable Chair.
Madam Chair, yes, I understand the Office of the Auditors is part of us. Is it that they didn't do a good job to show them that there was this gap, or the bad is their side? Because the accounting officer is indicating to us that he's just learning that this happened actually.
Madam Chairperson, I think what auditors raised are all valid issues. And this issue is not necessarily a bad issue. That the budget was 35 and you want less, sometimes because you pay loans, interest rates favor you, so you disburse less than that, pay less than, because of exchange rate. Sometimes because you're supposed to contract loan, then you budget that you pay interest. So if you contract that loan late, you may pay less interest. So it's not that the auditors didn't see this, but we will provide explanation. This is actually not necessarily negative. Sometimes it actually favors us.
That's why Mr.
Accountant General.
That's why Mr. Sebgoma, I'm asking, because if we are paying a debt and we have been provided the money, but then again we ended up not paying all the debt, in the end we shall have a penalty. So that's why I need the explanation.
Yeah.
That's where I'm coming. That's where I'm coming from. The explanation you gave is in relation to the 35, possibly because you are budgeted 35, but then you warranted 32. So between 32 and 29, that can suffice. Your explanation will suffice. But then between now 29 and what was spent, that's where I need that explanation.
Okay, Honorable
Accountant
Elijah, I think for the record, we did not have any unpaid debt. At least that should give...
Well, this is a conversation that is ongoing, and we'll definitely keep you abreast with it. Let us continue with it on the Afro mobile platform on NBS Live, and we'll give you the details of what comes through with our team that is in Parliament. For now, allow us to continue with other conversations where the residents in Hoima have raised concern over persistent darkness, warning that unlit streets have become dangerous. The resident city commissioner, RCC Badru Mugabe, acknowledged the problem, citing high costs of the new lights. The city authorities now plan to allocate annual funds for the gradual street light retooling. Let's get more details from Alan Mwesigwa. Alan, when we talk about the lights being expensive, it beats someone's understanding. One would ask, aren't these supposed to be solar lighting systems that become easier to manage along the way?
A very good afternoon, Mildred, and good afternoon, Uganda. Literally, that could be so that they can be easily managed, but also you have a challenge of people vandalizing them, including those that are going to steal them because they're looking for scraps, but also some of them are taking batteries to their places of residence. Remember, some of these streets do not have cameras to be able to monitor some of these bad intended people, but of course it remains a concern for the stakeholders and locals in Hoima because there are streets that you cannot move at night unless if you're powerful and also sure about your safety, but also as a person if you have security. And if you do not have security, trust me, there are places you may not be able to move in. But when some of these street lights are there but they're not functioning, either they've been damaged or someone has been complaining about maybe it could have been procurement or the costing onto these streets, because some of them have just been replaced, but then they are not functioning. It remains a concern. Has it been an issue of funding? Has it been maybe corruption? It could be that they bought street lights that are not to standard. That can be a question of another day. But of course, the conversation with the city, RCC Badru Mugabe, confirming the developments, but also complains that the city does not have money to be able to put out the budget that can replace all the street lights, but also monitor them. Let's listen to Badru Mugabe, the RCC Hoima City.
Yeah, it's true. Some of the streets, especially those streets that have not been recently been upgraded, don't have lights because the lights expired or the lights got spoiled, went down. And what the city has been doing is retooling. During the last budget, the city was able to retool to a tune of up to 150 lights. And it's a continuous process because it has a budgetary constraint and it cannot be done holistically at the same time. So it's being done in a phased manner. But however, the new streets that are under USMID and the successor program UCHMID will automatically be complete with lights installed as we retool and also install lights to those streets that have old lights that got spoiled. Of course, we need lights everywhere. This is a city. We need it well lit in the night to fight crime, but also provide an ambience in the night for the users, the travelers, and the community along those streets. So it's a priority in the city, and it's a priority of government to make sure that all streets are well lit.
Yes, Mildred, me and you know that as we look for quality suppliers of these street lamps, maybe there is also need to have sensitization, civic education to the community to understand the essence of why it is important to have these streets on the streets of Hoima City, because some of them have been stolen by thieves, but also dubious people that may not understand why they're important. Maybe they do not move at night. If they move at night, they do not understand why it is very important to move in a lit street for that matter. But of course, let's wait and see what the city will do towards that same development, because they've transitioned from Usimid to Uchimid for that matter. Maybe a funding could be able allocated for that same purpose. For now, it's a fair afternoon in Hoima. Back to you, Mildred, at the Political Command Center, and good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you. Definitely we'll keep with you to find out more of what's happening. Now let's move on to where the Ministry of the Information Communication Technology, ICT and National Guidance has delivered 160 computers to institutions in the different areas of Kasese district to enhance learning through use of ICT tools. Let's get Fahad Masirika with more details in this regard. Fahad,
district government or government offices to actually benefit from these computers and ensure technology is at the center. And we actually earlier on spoke to the ICT State Minister, Godfrey Kabianga. Let us first listen to what he actually said about it.
We are implementing a 5-year digital transformation roadmap. And one of the pillars in that roadmap is empowering digital skills and literacy. But we have also found out that we can't empower skills and literacy without gadgets. And we are also aware that very many people might not manage gadgets because they are a bit expensive. We are looking for so many ways of seeing how people can access gadgets, to the extent that we are even negotiating with the Ministry of Finance to see whether they can reduce on the taxes so that the gadgets are a bit affordable. But before we achieve that, we decided to go into giving out gadgets. I think you still remember last year we gave out gadgets to people of Bukonzo West, phones, about 200 phones. All that was within that pillar of our digital transformation roadmap. Now we are giving out computers to institutions. We decided on institutions and not individuals because institutions will empower many more people. And we are not even looking at only public institutions. We have even gone to civil society, then community, mainly community-based organizations, because they are in touch with the community and we feel you can empower the rest of the community. Otherwise, those ones who have got computers, please go and utilize them very well. They are mainly for digital skilling and literacy. And you let people access those computers. These are government of Uganda computers. So any villager should come and you teach him. You do like this, knock here, knock on this button, and it ends there. But for local governments, we are interested in service delivery. That's why we are giving you these machines, so that you don't complain. Reports must be prompt.
Minister Godfrey Kabianga. We have also realized that one of the other challenges is the network that actually the Ministry of ICT has actually pledged to handle here in the district. I want to get back to you at the Political Command Center, Mildred, and you take us to other parts of this country.
All right, thank you very much, Fahad Masirika, for that update, and congratulations, of course, to the schools that will be participating with this. You're still watching NBS Live at 1. Allow us to take a very short commercial break. We'll be right back.
Sumuchara.
Yes, Daddy.
You know the children are going back to school and things are a bit tight. For now, why don't you take half of the fees to junior school, and for the school van contribution, we shall pay later.
Daddy, why don't we pay using MTN Momo, where we stand a chance of winning school fees for a whole year and more? By the way, you can also apply for a school fees loan, and also participating schools can win a school van.
That's right! Win school fees for a whole year and more. Get Momo goodies and a school van for participating schools. You can also apply for a school fees loan. Simply dial *165*80# or use the Momo app.
There's a new way to keep your breath fresh all day. Introducing Movit All Day Toothpaste, meant to give you powerful night gum defense and teeth whitening. The charcoal flavor gives you deep cleansing and power stain removal. And the herbal delivers natural strength for healthy, confident smiles. Choose Movit All Day Toothpaste and enjoy freshness all day.
The National Mosquito Net Distribution Campaign is back. No one should die of malaria in this era. It is your responsibility to chase malaria from your home. The good news is that the government of Uganda has once again started distribution of mosquito nets under the 5th Universal Coverage Campaign, also known as the Under the Net campaign. Under this exercise, 1 mosquito net will be distributed per 2 people in every household. A village health team member, a community health extension worker, also known as a CHU, and the LC1 chairperson will move house to house to register members of the household in preparation for receiving their mosquito nets. Do not lie back. Ensure that you register all your household members to receive a mosquito net. On the distribution date, move to your distribution point and receive your net. Mosquito nets protect you and your family members from infectious mosquito bites that lead to malaria. Ensure that you receive the net, hang the net, and sleep under the net every night.
Welcome to NBS Plus, where you take center stage. Be bold, be loud, be creative. From the hottest entertainment to the biggest stories to the boldest voices, this is your space, your vibe. No limits, no filters, just you living, creating, and owning your moment. Only on NBS Plus. Simply download the Afro mobile app to enjoy all the vibes. NBS Plus, be you.
Urban Life Productions and Equisio Pasca na Awilo Longomba live from Mulimbarala. University in Easter Sunday Otaferwa Reiji Winunwaji VJ Oje Sharks VVD Tipau Truth 256 Sister Charity Nabandi Aribada Nishinje Metware Viri Diraha Gate Nishinje Metware Shatu VIP Metware Tano MSA Gold Million Emwe Eya Platinum Million Shatu Okubukinga Teranotum Shansmunani Tano Ikumna Mkaga Chanani Tano Chinana Nina Bahajirwe NBS Sanyuka TV Afro Mobile Mighty Ride.
Up next. Brought to you by Buy and Win in the new term, new you. Back to school promotion. Buy any of our focused products. Movit All Day Toothpaste, Movit Herbal Jelly, Movit Baby Jelly, and Movit Shower Gel. Terms and conditions apply. Movit All Day Confidence.
Welcome back, and thank you so much for keeping it NBS Television. You're still watching NBS Live at 1. I am Mildred Tohaise. Now, drowning prevention advocates are urging the government to subsidize certified life jackets and also expand targeted safety education for the fishing communities. They want that low-quality flotation devices place lives at seriously at risk as many fishermen rely on cheap life jackets that do not meet safety standards, while safer certified options remain very unaffordable. Let's take a look at more.
According to drowning prevention advocates, many life jackets used by fishermen and boat operators are unsafe, keeping people afloat for just 15 minutes instead of international standard of 72 hours. They say cheap life jackets often fail safety tests, while quality jackets are too expensive for most of these people. They are now calling on the government to subsidize production or import costs to make safety jackets more affordable.
Some of the research that these civil society partners are doing indicates that some of the life jackets can only last 15 minutes when submerged in water with an individual, or up to an hour if you're lucky. However, the ISO certified standard should be 72 hours, which should be more than enough time to get rescue to you should you fall overboard in an incident.
So if there can be a way that government can subsidize the production or the importation costs of these flotation devices or the life jackets, I believe they can come up to a price that is affordable to the fishermen of those fishing communities.
Drowning seems like a new area, the way we see climate change. These are issues that have existed since humanity, but because nobody has given them enough attention, yet they happen every day. That's why they are not given enough attention. Second, the competition within the newsrooms. We have political stories.
With more Ugandans relying on waterways for transport and livelihoods, advocates say urgent attention is needed to enforce safety rules, raise awareness, and prevent avoidable drowning death. More updates will follow in our subsequent bulletins. For now, let me return back to you at the Political Command Center.
Now, the National Medical Stores, through the Rotary Club of Medical Stars, held a medical camp at Kajansi, Wakiso District, offering free services to Entebbe sub-region residents. Services included dental care, cancer screening, eye care, and tuberculosis testing. The National Medical Stores spokesperson, Shilandu Uchide, said attendance actually exceeded the 2,500 target.
This is our second time that we are hosting a mega medical camp, and we are targeting 3,500 people against our old number of 2,100 when we did a similar camp in October last year. We've been offering a number of services from immunization to cancer screening to dental, eye, which is the most popular of all the services that we do. We're also doing sickle cell screening and many others. But particularly today was very special because we got a chance to host the Rotary International President to come and see firsthand the impacts of Rotary in Uganda. And we are pleased as a young club, only chartered last year in August, that we are able to put up such an impactful activity or project, which we have dubbed the Mega Medical Camp. And these camps are going to be rotational. We're going to be doing them annually across the country, in different parts of the country. So this time it's in Kajansi. Next time it will be in another part of the country. It is our commitment to extend our services beyond Kajansi to other areas in this country.
Well, that's great work. Service above self, of course, definitely coming in from the Rotarians. Away from there, Dr. Sanya Wilson has declared interest in the East African Legislative Assembly Yala MP race. He cites regional security advancing at the standard gauge railway, backing the East African crude oil pipeline, call it the ECOP, within the common market, and also sustaining the political federation. He joins two other contenders seeking to make West Nile's first ELA Member of Parliament since Nusura Tipero. Take a look.
Well, thank you very much. The conversation started with Sheila Obia, the princess, and she actually told us her ambition when it comes to this ELA Member of Parliament race. And then also we spoke about the possibility of a former RCC of Arua, that is Salim Komakech, to join the race. The third person is Kak Fixer Sanya, the current mayor of Koboko municipality, and he's here with us. Welcome to NBS.
Thank you very much, Joseph.
Just briefly, what is the ambition in terms of after May?
My interest of why I think and believe that I should be voted this time for the 6th Parliament is only 3 strategic reasons. One of the strategic reasons of Uganda as a country is trade, the common market. Trade for us to be able to make sure our goods and services are sold, both manufacturing and agriculture. The second is infrastructure for connectivity. For example, like the East African crude oil pipeline, the East African Standard Gauge Railway, that is one of the core strategic interests which His Excellency the President has been talking about, and I believe with my knowledge, with my experience of what I know, I would be the right person to probably look into that and see how it can come into reality. And then the fourth one is the security and the fight against terrorism. Our security, that is core. So those 3 are really where my focus are, but you find that I will break that into the core values. What are the challenges with the 4 core principles or values of East Africa? 1, common market. Common market for goods and services and capital across the region. 2, the custom union, a common custom union, how the goods move. And I will tell you the challenges with the custom union is one of the key things that really I need, and I believe I can do it. But if not, whoever is going to go has to do it for the future generation of our people from Uganda. And then we have issues to do with the domestic laws. The laws in Uganda, the finance acts in Uganda, are not aligned to the East African commitment. So I think we need to do something along that line to make sure that how do we align the commitments in the East African Legislative Assembly with the various laws of these countries? How do we align? And then we have the challenge to do with the labor. I finished in Makerere in Kumba. I can still go and work in Kenya. I finished in Nairobi University. I can go and work in Arusha. I can work in DRC Congo. How? And then the third one is the monetary union. And then the fourth is the political federation. President Museveni is the only president I know. Ever since I was born, I don't know any president. And therefore, I will die making sure that his vision for us, I promote it if I'm given the opportunity, which is trade, common infrastructure, security, and fight against terrorism. These are my core interests. That's why I'm coming. It's not out of excitement.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Dr. Sanya Kakfixer. Yeah. And of course, talking about his strategic move to the East African Legislative Assembly. And he is so far up against Princess Sheila Obia, and then Salim Komakech, the former RCC of Arua City. And we will be seeing what happens from here. Back to you at the Political Command Center.
Thank you. Thank you very much, as a former Goran. As we get to close off the bulletin, let's take a look at what's happening elsewhere in the world, where a wave of violence has erupted across Mexico following the death of the country's most wanted drug lord during a military operation. Nemesio Oseguera Cavantes, widely known as El Menco, was the leader of the powerful Jalisco New Generation cartel. Authorities said he died after being seriously injured in the clashes between the cartel gunmen and the army in the town of Tapalpa in Jalisco State. 4 of the members were killed and 3 other soldiers injured during the operation, according to the Defense Ministry. In retaliation, the gang or cartel supporters launched coordinated attacks in at least a dozen states, setting vehicles ablaze and blocking major roads. The gunmen were reported on the streets while smoke was seen rising over the cities, including Guadalajara. Jalisco Governor Pablo Lemus Navarro declared a code red, suspending public transport, events and in-person classes. The tourists told Reuters that Puerto Vallarta resembled a war zone, as reports cited by the BBC and CBS said hundreds of the roadblocks were set up nationwide, with dozens of arrests.